Pro Tour Valencia. I'm Randy Bueller here with Brian David Marshall. We are ready for the quarterfinals.
It's
We're going
showtime.
to start out on the match between Sam Stein and Andre Mueller. What are you looking forward to in this matchup?
Finding out if Affinity is fast enough to beat a 7-mana sorcery.
Should be fun. Sam Stein's playing an Affinity deck that he's had a lot of success with over the years. He's played it in PTQs. He's played it in Grand Prix. Put up some results. That was the deck he was comfortable with. His read on this extended format is that it was wide open. A lot of different decks can be good. You just got to play them right. So he took the one that he knows how to play. Leads off with a Worker and an Ornithopter.
Meanwhile, Mueller's take on the format was that there was the best deck, and it was Enduring Ideal.
All right.
It was, it was dominating on the on Magic Online and the PEs. It was, it had a unlosable game state that you could create, and he was he and his group were gonna work to tune their version to the most clean, streamlined version that they could find.
Stein gets in for one with a Worker. So what did they do with the deck? They saw it on Magic Online. They concluded that it was the best deck in the format.
They took out a lot of the sack lands. They have fetch lands. They have Sensei's Divining Top.
Okay.
So it gives them increased looks at the top of their deck.
I have the Cranial Plating for Stein.
They added 17. They just cleaned it up, streamlined it, took out the Insidious Dreams, Draco Explosion package.
What's going on here? Seething Song off of Sackland, Seething Song, Enduring Ideal. Wow! Andre Mueller smashing out of the gates.
How many Poison Slivers did he attack with there?
Quickly goes to a 1-0 lead. That is exactly the draw he was hoping for.
Randy Bueller. Yeah. To the liking, right? Now the likes is several similar people. Okay, to the liking.
Sackland, Seething Song, Enduring Ideal. That was off of Mulligan to 6, by the way. Both players Mulligan to 6 that game. Sam came out, got 2 attack bases, got 2 points of damage in.
And so if you're wondering...
What is Affinity supposed to do about that? Is there anything Affinity can do about that?
I don't know if there's anything they can do about it game 1. He just has to hope that Andre stumbles a little bit and he can get in with his turn 3, turn 4 kind of like ideal Affinity draw and just attack him to death.
Yeah.
He's relying on the combat step.
Yeah, and he's going to need a couple of attack bases. So why don't you explain why Sam scooped to Enduring Ideal? What was going to happen?
So what's going to happen is the first card that Andre's been getting traditionally is, if he's not under a tremendous amount of pressure, is Dubscape.
Okay.
If he feels like he's under pressure, he can get Solitary Confinement instead, assuming he still has cards in hand to feed to it.
Right.
And once you have Dubscape and Solitary Confinement in play, your opponent can't cast anything but creature spells.
Right.
They can't attack you. They can't target you.
That seems like a problem. Hard to win from
you get a Honden of Seeing Winds.
That gives you
a card every turn to upkeep the Solitary Confinement.
There you go.
And then once everything's in place, you get Form of the Dragon, and you dome your opponent 4 times with Form of the Dragon, safely sitting behind your Voltron of enchantments.
That'll do. Now, what happens in this matchup now that they're sideboarding?
Well, I mean, Seal of Primordium is...
Do you have it all in the opener?
On the table is,
except for the
I guess, something of an issue. Spell Snare can hit So with the Seal of Primordium, he can find a way to break through. Maybe he can, if he has it on the table.
Yeah, he needs to get it onto the table, because like you said, the first thing Andre's going to go get is Dubscape, and he can't cast the Seal afterwards.
But he can cast it, leave it there, and that's something Andre needs to do. It serves as a form of disruption to give Sam some more time to get his attack. His attack's another. The problem that we were talking about in the previous show is, for Sam to fit all this disruption in, he's got to dilute his deck to some degree.
Now, he does have 6 disruption cards in his main deck. They're just not the ones that are relevant against Andre. 3 Tormod's Crib, 3 Pithing Needles. Those are going to come out.
Right. And he's going to bring in, certainly going to bring in Cabal Therapies and Seal of Primordiums. He may bring in Spell Snares as well for Burning Wishes,
Right, now, but then the question is, what does he take out? Is Thoughtcast too slow in this matchup? That's plausible to me.
I'm trying to see if this Spell Snare hits anything else in...
So you like those sleeves? Alright.
Oh, it also hits the
Cool,
Pentax.
the black ones is like the yellow magic on the back.
So
Yeah, for sure.
that seems fine. It slows him down.
Not like he wants to sit around with a lot of untapped mana.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, the affinity plan is, I've got a lot of pressure. I'm going to force you to go off quickly. I'm going to do my best to, chip in some disruption from the sides, but it's mostly a race.
Sam felt that this was pretty much unwinnable for him game one.
Sure.
So he thought it was pretty miserable.
Anything interesting in Andre's sideboard? Yeah, not really.
Not really. And that's what Sam said. Sam said he has 0 sideboard cards for me. And I guess he could bring in... I don't even know.
I mean, it's not like Andre needs sideboard cards, though, really. He's got a sideboard set up for actual problem matchups. 4 ley lines, because the dredge deck can actually get out there pretty fast. 3 Boseijus for the control matchup.
What was the highest finish you saw for a dredge deck this weekend?
I saw a couple on day 1, but now that you mention it.
The deck that seemed to do a little better than that was the Cephalid Life decks. Those seem to have a little more success.
Yeah, it wasn't even clear what was the best way to get your deck into your graveyard. Right, it's like Nargamoeba comes out, and all of a sudden, okay, Dread returns, Sutured Ghoul, Nargamoeba, got it.
Right.
All I got to do is get my deck in the graveyard, and I win. But now, is it easier to go the Cephalid direction and
Right. Well, we saw Thomas Refstall still playing for top 8, with 1 round to go.
Right.
Can you keep up with all this action?
Yeah, but I think I only saw the one Cephalid Life deck in Restall's hands. If he had won the next to last round, he would have been able to draw into the top 8. As it turns out, he lost the last one and wound up 26.
Yeah. I don't think there were any dredge decks
seeing
significantly
this
into the
morning.
money.
They were like, hey,
It almost feels like that will make it a great PTQ deck.
you might imagine
Fair.
how effective that turned out to be.
Getting underway for game 2. Andre Mueller is quite a character. I don't know how much you've interacted with him. He's very entertaining to talk to. He was
A little bit, not a ton.
That's pretty
Go
much
ahead.
the only game where
he's constantly moving. He's like sort of like all elbows and knees, and talks very, very fast and very, very intensely.
Yes.
We did a couple. Well, we did the deck tech with him, and he was just the cameraman was sort of like
Having trouble following.
a seasoned professional cameraman was struggling to keep up with him.
on deal occasionally.
And he was, I remember from Pro Tour Philadelphia when he was in the top 8, I was covering one of the other matches, and his sort of stream of chatter from across the room I was cracking up. I was having a hard time focusing on my match.
They have all kinds of poker tournaments all the time. The thing is, it's illegal to give up price.
I don't even think any other matches have, gone 3 turns yet. We're already into game 2 here.
I'm trying to get some updates on the other matches. Sounds like Remy Fortier has got Divining Top and Counterbalance going.
Oh,
His first prize
nice.
is like so many people
Bodes well for
pay
him.
€15 and then they rebuy it.
Yeah, they do matches pretty early, pretty even.
Like travel to the Swiss.
Mostly just land.
Who is Fortier's opponent?
Like that.
He's playing Tina Roos, is that right? Yeah, Tina Roos. All right, Mueller keeps it 6, and here we go. Same start for Sam Stein, except that he's on the play this time. A worker and an ornithopter. Mueller suspended a Lotus Bloom.
This is actually a good play.
What's Stein got going on?
Looks like he's got a worker. Not a terribly exciting hand.
His hand got another ornithopter and some artifact lands. Maybe one other spell. Here's the second artifact land. Oh, Chromatic Spear.
Is there anything in that hand that would have, if you're talking about bringing all those disruptions, is that a hand that you're going to keep?